Right. We are so excited to have you guys here. Jamie Schmidt and she is in Nebraska. I am in Savannah, Georgia, are excited to present this business opportunity tonight. So if you've seen any of us or anybody who's invited you to this call talking about the Hugh and Grace products on social media, in person, we really wanted to give you guys more of an inside look at the business model if this was ever an appealing avenue for you to dive into like we have. So a little background on me, I have been in the network marketing industry for, I guess, career field for 13 years now. In my last company, I was there for 12 years and I created a multi-million-dollar organization. But at one point, there came a point that I just did not feel aligned with the mission and the vision of that company anymore. And I really felt like we'd gotten so large, we kind of lost the direction we were going in. And I was getting older and I'm going through perimenopause, and I had been on my own journey for about a year prior to starting with these products, of getting the toxic chemicals and products out of my life, switching up my skincare, learning why my cortisol was so elevated, trying to figure out why I was chronically dehydrated in my labs, very frustrated, and my gut was an absolute mess. So when I was brought these products, sorry, by my former corporate mentor, he said, test these out. I was learning the science that went along with these products at the same time in class. I'm about to graduate as a nutritional therapy practitioner. So I've been in school and I was learning about mineral deficiencies and gut health, and because I wanted to fix myself and be able to pass this knowledge along. So as I was learning about mineral deficiencies, I started using our Hydrate Detox. After a couple of weeks, I was like, oh my gosh, this product has lifted my brain fog. I need to learn more. And I sat down did a Zoom with Sarah, the owner of Hugh and Grace, and just picked her brain for an hour and a half and truly got a feel of this company. We are only 3 years old. We just had our 3-year anniversary. And I just came out of that call going, this is so refreshing. I loved their passion and their mission of where they were going, where this company is headed. And in my phase of life, what I'm in, not saying you only have to be perimenopause, I love these products, but where I was in, this is the type of products that I was talking about, that I was researching every single day. And it felt so great to finally find a company with products that were third-party tested, had a board of doctors behind them, and I could truly trust. So I'm not going to say anything else. The next thing we're just going to go into is a video of Sarah and Ben. They're our founders, and they're going to tell you their story in their own words.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Ben.
We are the founders, CEOs, and parents of Hugh and Grace. We created Hugh and Grace to enhance your life with natural, high-performing, versatile products that help support hormone health.
We started Hugh and Grace to solve a problem.
It took us a really long time for us to have our family. We could never get pregnant, diagnosed unexplained infertility. Incredibly, we have our family, and sister volunteered to be our surrogate and gave birth to our son, Hugh. And then my sister volunteered to be our second surrogate and gave birth to our daughter, Grace.
It was really when we got to the other side of the struggle where we looked back and said, man, there are a lot of things that we wish we'd have known. Simple health principles that have nothing to do with what you would consider as fertility, but everything to do with good health. So we decided, let's do something about it. And that's the foundation of Hugh and Grace.
So we create products that go on, in, and around your body. Products that help detox, repair, and protect yourselves from chemical exposure. Products that work incredibly well, that are luxurious, high-performing, and also natural.
The pandemic got us all thinking. How do we want to live? Do we really have to live the way we have in the past? Do we have to do things the way that society had told us to? How could we mix our lifestyle with our livelihood? If we could do that, we're creating something special. We wanted to be able to reward those who shared our products word of mouth, which is the most effective way to market. And we wanted to do it in a way that made sense.
So we have a retail component, we have an affiliate component, we have an advocate component. Through this model, it has been truly inspiring, but you can have it all. You can prioritize family and still achieve success.
Hugh and Grace is built by a community of advocates. Advocates of change, advocates of products, advocates for their families and for themselves. That's what powers the Hugh and Grace business model.
And I feel like with Hugh and Grace, that has been the most amazing part of our platform, is people have the ability to be stay-at-home moms They can earn great income. They can join an amazing community. They can have better products, but really it's changing their lives. Maybe it just ends up being products you love and you've lost nothing for trying, or maybe it changes everything.
So with that, I feel like they could explain their story so much better than I ever could. But hearing Sarah's passion on the phone, hearing why they created this company, and now being in this company for 8 months and seeing them live up to their word of how amazing of human beings they are, I am able to like just straight out text Sarah. If I have a question, she asks our input before bringing on new products, and it feels so collaborative. So at that point, I am going to hand it off to my good friend Jamie Schmidt. So you have two Jamies tonight, and she is so knowledgeable. I love working alongside her, learning alongside her, and she is going to take off with endocrine disrupting chemicals and why hormone health is so important after she introduces herself.
Thanks, Jamie. So yes, my name is Jamie Schmidt. I live in Norfolk, Nebraska, and my background is I was a pharmacist, or I am. I have a PharmD degree. I worked in retail pharmacy for 25 years, and that just recently changed, and I kind of went a different route. I opened a weight loss and wellness clinic with one of my good friends who's a plastic surgeon here in town, and then also joined this amazing company, and that all happened just about 6 months ago. So I've had a lot of changes, but I have loved every minute of it. And I have to say that I'm just, every time I watch that video, I'm just so proud to be part of this company, because I just feel like it's just amazing what Ben and Sarah have done. But so basically, so I have this clinic, and what I love about the two jobs that I have right now is that they can intertwine so well. And so I actually have all of our Hugh and Grace products in my medical clinic now, and we use them in a lot of our weight loss patients, and so as well as our hormone health patients. I did also get certified in Hormone Health, and that took me about 6 months as well, and so I do have that certification, and so I'm able to provide hormone health counseling to patients as well. And so I guess I just kind of like Jamie, we all get into the stage of our lives, and I did have a lot of issues with my health and different things, that once I really started digging into that, I was able to kind of discover that a lot of that had to do with hormone imbalances. And so I wanted to learn all I could about that. And I mean, I'd had some general knowledge of that in the past, but getting the certification and then just everything I'm doing to try to learn more about these products with Hugh and Grace, I was able to, I'm just able to learn more and more every day. So basically, kind of to start with these slides, a lot of people, right now it does seem like hormone health is, at least thankfully, in the media a little bit more. So we're kind of hearing more about this, but there are so many things in our environment and in our lives right now that can disrupt our hormones. And as you can see, environmental toxins can costing businesses so much money, causing the healthcare business or the healthcare industry so much money, because it can affect things like our sleep, our stress levels, in women, menopause, infertility, all of that. And so it does really feel like, as consumers, we are just kind of in the dark about that, because to me, I feel like if you're going to buy a product, I just feel like it should be safe, right? It should be something that we can use, that we can put on our body, that we can put in our body. But what I'm discovering, and what we should all kind of maybe start paying more attention to, is that you just have to advocate for yourselves. And so you can kind of see, people have hard time understanding what our hormones actually do, how they can affect our health, or even to where do I start to try to make a change in my life. And that's kind of how I was, 6 months ago. It's like, what do I even do? And so I just started making the small changes, and using a lot of these products has helped, because what I learned is, that because of the board of medical directors that we have at this company, and just all the science that goes into, and the research that goes into their products, we can be assured that they're safe. And so it's easy to make those swaps. It's the things that we don't have available yet, that those are the harder things for me right now. But anyway, I can feel very assured that with the board of medical directors that we have here, we know that we're using products that can be safe. So, and again, why should we be concerned about our hormone health? Well, it's our physical health. It affects our sleep, or affects our mood, our fertility, our cycles, everything, metabolism, all these things that are listed there, and and so much more, just our overall health. And I don't know if you have anything you want to add to that, Jamie, but if you don't, you can just switch to the next slide.
Yeah, I think that the one thing that I kept cluing in on is that we have a medical board of directors behind us. We have third-party testing. We have an entire list of all the extra testing that we do, because supplements are not FDA regulated, and it's a wild field. And a lot of these supplements are dry labbing. They're using very, very cheap forms of, say, magnesium, of B12, of folic acid, instead of using a form that our body can actually absorb and utilize, instead of stressing our liver more. So that made me feel really good, is when I was looking through the forms of magnesium that we were using, they're actually absorbable in our bodies, not like an oxide, some of these really cheap forms. So yes, that's all I had to throw in.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, and so this slide kind of describes, what are these endocrine disrupting chemicals? Have you heard of them? And a lot of people haven't heard of them, or they haven't heard of them used as that term. We do have over there the dirty dozen, and some of those I think people are pretty aware of. Using plastic containers, pesticides, those kind of things that are put in, on our food supply, but other kind of more sneakier things, like the scents that we use in our candles. Like, I know for one, I used to love using like Bath and Body Works candles all over my house, and it's just, until you educate yourself on that, you just don't know that it can really be, they can be very harmful. Dental fillings, cosmetics, I mean, those things, and they're all listed there. Those are some of the main ones that we're kind of seeing in our everyday environment. But basically, what endocrine disrupting chemicals are is that they mimic or block our hormones in our body, and our hormones are the messengers for every function in our body. And so they bind to things in our body, and they send messages to our organs and our systems to do certain things. And so when we have these chemicals that are in our bodies, and they're blocking those, or they're mimicking those to do something different, that's when we run into those health risks. And some of them are very severe, like in Ben and Sarah's situation with infertility, and just completely unexplained. I mean, nothing that they, either one of them necessarily had wrong with them medically, but just there was something off with their hormones. And so and cancer, all these different things, and the small exposures, those aren't the main things. It's that we're constantly these days being exposed to this stuff on a daily basis in large amounts, before we go to sleep, while we're in our homes. And that's the kind of thing that we're just trying to kind of raise awareness about now. And so, yeah, that, like the main ones, again, like the BPA that are in the plastics, the things that are in the plastic containers, that are fragrances, all of that, as you can see there, they can just really cause some issues. As you can see, like our endocrine system runs almost every function in our body. And if it's being blocked or mimicked in a way that's harmful, then that's where you're really going to run into those health problems. So yeah, here are the most common, the ones to avoid, and we kind of talked about those here. I just mentioned them, but it's just kind of, reading those labels and seeing, are any of those things, and there's so many different ones, and some of them I think can be so overwhelming when you look at the labels and you're like, well, there's 50 things in this. Like, how do I know what's good, what's bad? And there's sources for that and that kind of thing. But if you can pick up something like a Hugh and Grace product, and you can read every single thing that's in there, and that they're safe, that's pretty reassuring to me. So that's what I love about this company. But yeah, so basically things that are touching your body, you're putting on your body, you're putting on your face, chemicals, cleaners that you're using in your home, all of these things, they all can add up and play a part. And so, yeah, this one's about toxic load, and kind of like I alluded to earlier, back, in the past or when we're younger and all of that, yeah, you're being exposed to maybe small amounts of these types of toxin or endocrine disrupting hormones. But it's just the accumulation over time in our bodies that cause the major issues, like the cancers and the infertility and that kind of thing. And so, I mean, all these things in our environment, they just add up. And and so the more that we can try to kind of advocate for the things that we can control, and obviously there are 100 million things that we can't control, but the things that we can control, that's when we can kind of start see real changes in our bodies and how we feel. And I think from here, yeah, I guess this just kind of shows what we have as far as products right now for our company that we can put on in and around our body. And so we have a skincare line. In that video, Sarah said, they're very luxurious, nice. I use all of them, and I've completely replaced my entire like cleansing regimen and day and night serum, and they're just really great, clean products. Same with like in your body, things like our Hydrate Detox, which I think Jamie's going to talk about a little bit later, our collagen, our vitamin supplements, and then what we use around our home to clean our home. And that's what we have now, and those are the things that I can feel pretty comfortable with, that we're going to help decrease my toxic load and not have like 1 million cleaning products in my home, and all of them are causing some sort of a disrupting effect on my endocrine system.
Yeah, and I would just got off a class. I was catching up on a class today. So I've been in class mode all day, and I loved our class that we just finished because we're really diving into detoxification and the pathways. There's 6 pathways in our body that we detoxify from these heavy metals, from toxins, from processed foods. And I always love that our instructor says, we cannot start anywhere, not weight loss, not addressing anything, until we address hydration, period. And I know that's where I was lacking. Like I was very fit. I was in the fitness industry for 12 years, and I couldn't figure out why I was doing everything right and I was still tired. My labs were saying I was dehydrated. My LDL was really high. My resting glucose was really high a year ago because I wasn't addressing hydration and then cortisol. And that was really frustrating for me as working with clients in the past, is I wasn't addressing the root cause. I was trying to fix issues way down the line, when in order to get any kind of results, maximum energy results, I'm not even talking about weight loss, but just to feel better. Because I work with a lot of people that are like, I'm not even trying to lose weight. I just want to feel better. I want to have more energy. We have to go back to hydration and cortisol. And there's so many different things that affect cortisol. I mean, it could be bad sleep. It could be the fact that a lot of us, I'm sure on this call, are moms, and we're in fight or flight mode. So when you put yourself in that sympathetic state of fight or flight all day, every day, your cortisol is raised. So when you're eating, everything's downregulated, and we're not addressing these type of things. So I'm so excited that I see a lot on social media. I feel like these conversations are being had within my friend group. Everywhere I go is like, okay, let's talk about breathing for a minute before we eat. Let's talk about electrolytes. But once we start talking about electrolytes, I love to geek out and really look in depth at people's supplements and the type of electrolytes they're using, what's in these things, because people go, oh, it's an electrolyte. And I'm like, yeah, but let's dig into it. Does it have added sugar? Is the B12 in there cyanocobalamin? What type of magnesium are you taking? Because as we're talking about hydration and detoxification, we have to be aware that a lot of these supplements and things that were coming at us all day long, whether in our skincare, our cleaning products, they're stressing our liver because it's just overloaded. Like she talked about that toxic load. When there's this much coming at us, even the things we think we're doing good for us, like many of these inactive forms, cheap forms that are in our vitamins, are stressing our liver even more when we think we're doing something good for our body and we're actually not. And that's what I've really gotten passionate about. But I am going to go back a little bit, because when I first thought about coming to this company, I looked at the products we had and I looked at how we had grown. So we started with the skincare, then we branched into the supplement line, and then we branched into the cleaning products. So since I've come on, just in this 8 months, we've launched at least 4 new skincare products. The 5-in-1 cleanser that I cannot live without, that I use it as a mask. It has a ton of niacinamide, which, helps calm your skin. My skin, I was breaking out very, very badly for years until I switched to this line. And it's because our face serum is vitamin C, very intense vitamin C, protects against free radicals, plus a moisturizer. So I realized I was using all these different products, stripping my skin, so it was overproducing oil. So 2 simple things. I literally just use the bar soap on my face and body, and I use the morning serum and night serum. That's it. And then once a week, I do that 5-in-1 cleanser. We have our body polish. We have, that's like this great oil scrub that I use in the shower. We have the body butter that we came out with. But you can see here when they told us, I guess it was about a month or 2 ago, the plans they have going forward, I was even more excited. I was like, oh, we're getting a protein powder. That is powder. That is in my wheelhouse. We're getting a longevity formula. Like, oh, I can't wait to see what is in this vitamin mix, because as in perimenopause, I know I need a lot of magnesium. I know I need a lot of taurine. Like, I know what I need in my body during this phase of life. I'm excited to see what that is. And I love our cleaning products so much. 2 things, and it cleans my entire house. And my son was scrubbing the shower. I had him deep clean yesterday. And I love that I didn't stress for 1 second that he's in there spraying this. He's in that shower for 10 minutes, scrubbing it down, because this is all we used on the glass, on the shower floor. I'd never had to stress as a mom for 1 second that he was breathing this in, these toxic chemicals, cleaning products, and they were getting into his organs. But so we'll be coming out with multi-purpose hand soap, dish soap, laundry detergent, cosmetics, tinted moisturizer with SPF. That's what I was very, very excited for, because I use that every day, and I'm sure the brand I'm using is not safe. So I love seeing, we're at the start. We're only 3 years in, and it just feels so pure and clean. So I'm like, I cannot wait to see what we have in 5 years. We'll never have a million products, because their motto is we're going to focus on certain things and do them with the best possible ingredients possible. Like, we'll never be one of those Melaleucas with 5 million products, want something in every line. We're going to do what we do, the best of the best. So if we, like, I'm going to talk about next, actually, after I show this real quick before I go into it, this is just some results about what I'm about to talk about next. But you can see Dawn's face in the bottom. That's just from our skincare, switching to clean skincare. But the other 3 is from our collagen. And all 3 of us had been using the same form for 3 years prior to this. So we'd already been on a collagen. All 3 of us in those collagen pictures switched to a new one. And that's when you see those bald spots grow in, which had never previously done that. All right, so this is my passion. This is the reason I came over. And this is what I just want to give you my quick blurb on the science behind the routine. So the hydrate detox, we talked about detoxification and elimination earlier. Hydration is important with electrolytes. When you first wake up in the morning, when you've been fasted for 8 hours, your kidneys need electrolytes. That helps our blood flow, it helps our pH, it helps everything. And it helps that basically absorb those electrolytes first thing in the morning, help that kidney absorb that water so it can disperse it to all the other organs. Instead of sometimes when you wake up and you're just drinking straight water, when you wake up, it can just pass straight by it and you're not actually absorbing it. So the electrolytes that is in the hydrate detox from the magnesium and from the potassium, that's what's going to help that soak that up from the minerals. And I think something that can be a confusion for people sometimes is when they go, oh, but there's sodium in there. Well, we need to remember that sodium from minerals that is helping our kidneys is completely different than salt from processed foods that we're eating throughout the day. They're 2 completely different animals. So these electrolytes from minerals, magnesium, potassium, first, they're helping the kidneys absorb the water. The next part of this hydrate detox is that we have a pre and probiotic. And the probiotic was a different strain than I'd ever tried before. And my gut was so off, and I tried lactobacillus after lactobacillus, doing nothing for me. This is DE111 if you want to look up that strain, and it's Bacillus subtilis. So every strain of probiotic does something different in your body. So now I'm getting a really powerful pre and probiotic. So we're hydrating our cells, we're adding good bacteria. So basically when we're hydrating the cells, we're unearthing all the bad stuff that was probably lodged in there. So now as you're having that rush to the liver, we also have glutathione, which is the master antioxidant. So when the heavy metals come in through our gut lining, what that glutathione does basically to help the liver with detoxification is it binds to those heavy metals and it helps push it out through our colon, to get it through that intestine, the small and large intestine. Like, let's get it all the way through there. So that's going to bind to that. So now we have all of these elements in one product. And that's what I started with because I really wanted to stack it. I didn't want to do all three at once because I wanted to feel the difference and I wanted to be a science experiment with my body. And I was not going to the bathroom regularly before this, but the magnesium citrate in this is what's going to have you, keep your body flowing. If you are not going to the bathroom 2 to 3 times per day, you will become estrogen dominant. Like, we need to go to the bathroom 2 to 3 times a day. And the definition of like constipated is if you're not going to the bathroom within 20 minutes of waking up. And that's crazy because I heard this in class and I went, what? Most people think if they go 1 time a day that they're doing really well. Well, the way that we excrete excess estrogen is through our feces. Also other contaminants is through peeing, going to the bathroom, urination. So if we're not hydrated, we're not going to urinate as much as we need to flush out these toxins. We're not going to sweat as much as we need to push out these toxins. If we're wearing products on our skin that are non-comedogenic, like they're keeping everything in your skin, all those toxins, you want them out. You want all those toxins. Like if your armpits get sweaty, I always say, good, that means you're getting the toxins out. So when we're estrogen dominant because we're not going to the bathroom enough, again, that's messing with your hormones, causing a ripple effect all down the line from one simple thing of not being hydrated and not going to the bathroom enough. So it all, for me, always comes back to hydration, detoxification. Then I added in the morning supplement. That was the second product I did because it has milk thistle. That's going to help with that liver detoxification. Because as you're using this really powerful probiotic and the hydration, it's unearthing all this bad stuff in your system. The liver, let's give it a little bit of help. And it also has great herbs and minerals in there for gut inflammation, which was a huge issue for me. So, our collagen too, the last thing I'm going to say on that is it has types 1, 2, and 3. Type 2 collagen, you pretty much only find in bone broth, and the fact that we know it's heavy metal free. It is a collagen protein or collagen peptide because we have farm-raised Japanese codfish because we don't want them out in the ocean. We don't want them ingesting other fish, eating other fish. We don't know the mercury levels. And especially when I see grass-fed beef ones, I'm like, what kind of grass were they eating? Like, we don't know. Did it have fertilizer? Like, what did it have in it? Do you have a third-party heavy metal testing for that? So that's where I'm trying to clean up all this stuff. And when I added this simple one, about half the amount I felt like I was taking in this other one, I had eyebrows again. Like, my hair right now, I'm getting it cut tomorrow. It's so long. I can't even keep up with it. I do have to get my highlights done more often, but I guess we'll just have to pay for that. Jamie talked about the cleaning, and I already mentioned it. This is the only cleaning products we have in the house. Just these 2 things. I do toilets. I'll spray it on the floors when I need to clean it. I do my quartz countertops. I do glass. I use this on everything. And it's, it is, I think about $60 as an advocate for your first 2 bottles because they're beautiful, they're glass. And then I get a $20 refill about every 2 to 3 months. And to me, that's replaced everything else, my Windex, my bleach, like all this stuff that I was using. And I had an Airbnb for 4 years. Every single time I left that Airbnb, I felt sick. My skin was flushed. I was super red and I felt awful for the rest of the day. I know it's because I was using so much bleach to just make that place look good enough for the next people to come in. All right, so let's get down to my favorite part, the business side of this, because I know if you're on this call, you're like, okay, if you heard us say the term network marketing elevated, now I'll explain why. I said, when I was approached with this company at first, would you ever do another network marketing company? And I said, absolutely not. I like poured my heart and soul into the last one. But then when I saw the business model of this, I loved that I could get back into outside sales if I chose to, or I could stay selling on social media and to my friends and family if I chose to that avenue. So if you're an advocate, you do get a 25% discount on the products, and we receive straight commission, 25% commission on all orders. There's no stipulations on that. You don't have to, in some comp plans, like, oh, if you have this many advocates under you, blah, blah. No, you get 25% commissions on all orders. Now, say I sign Jamie, who's on this call. Whatever she sells, I earn 8 to 10% based on how many other advocates I have below me. I earn 8 to 10% on everything she sells. It's a straight rate. There's no crazy legs or anything like that. It's a very easy number to follow. I see what she sold. I get 8 to 10% of that. We get a weekly commissions payout. And I'm going to go into the bottom part of that on the next slide. One thing I really, really love about this is that it's a one-time $45 fee to enroll. That's one time. Every year after that, it's $25. There's no product purchase requirement, and I'll explain why on the next slide, which also is fantastic. You don't have to buy anything to be an advocate. The thing that really, really sold me on this company is their passion for education. So every single month, we have a masterclass in something. When I first joined, we were doing a 4-part series for that month for all of our customers and advocates. All of our customers got access to this, and it's now on our podcast. Was a 4-part master hormone class on sleep, stress, just lifestyle tips. They're constantly trying to come out with more education and stuff that will benefit our customers along the way, that just comes with being a part of Hugh and Grace. And as an advocate, they're always finding fantastic speakers to help us grow our businesses. We had one today. So I love that they're so focused on the education component, because that's very important to me as we go into this new era of advocating for ourselves. And I'll talk about events a little bit later. So as an advocate, so that's what I am. That's what Jamie Schmidt is. You know, we are building a team and selling retail to friends and family, you know, whatever we choose to sell. There is an option if you only wanted to be an affiliate. But I personally, I have not signed anybody as just an affiliate, because then you don't get access to the bonuses that I'll talk about on the next slide. This is my favorite part though, is retail. So we can, like Jamie has her wellness medical clinic, she sells retail. They get wholesale pricing, which is even lower than what we buy as advocates. I have had meetings with a fantastic spa downtown Savannah who's going to be picking our products up. I've had a couple meetings with doctors. I've had a meeting with a telemed doctor, because they all see the benefit, especially those who are offering semaglutides. They see the benefit in having their customers order the Hydrate Detox alongside these weight loss shots, which are causing, delayed gastric emptying, severe dehydration. So it's just a fantastic product to have to offer to your customer to keep them safe. So yes, I've been meeting with a lot of doctors, chiropractors, you name it, hair salons who want to offer the collagen. I love that we can do outside sales and sign them up as retail customers, where they never see any part of the network marketing side, but they do have a link so that if their customers don't want to have to come into their store, they have even a link that they can send out to their customers. And then the last part is, if you are a customer, there is a fantastic referral program where you can give a code for your friend to get $10 off, and you get $10 in product credit. And what's neat about this is, as a customer, if you ever decide, oh, I do want to be an advocate and I want to move up to be an advocate, all of those friends that you have referred over that time, they'll just switch up with you as your customer. So they won't stay with the person that you referred them to. They will switch up and become your customers. You can basically be building a customer base as a customer, before you decide to take the leap. All right, so I am very finance driven. I was a finance major in college. I did a 6-month spreadsheet for our advocate team the other day, because I wanted to see, the first 6 months in the business, because this is new for us, where my commissions lied. The first 3 to 4 months, if you enroll in the middle of the month, you get an extra month. As a new advocate, I really capitalized on these boost bonuses. So I was matching those first 3 months, everything I was making in retail commission, I was matching in these boost bonuses. You enroll 2 active advocates. I mean, that's $100. Like if you hit a certain volume goal, you get another bonus. And so I really looked at this and capitalized on it. So once I was out of the boost, sorry, I'm gonna move my picture screen over here. I started really honing in on the end of the month bonuses. And that's really what was like that very attractive to me thing to tell new advocates is, okay, I want you to break it down. If you sell X amount of product, at the end of the month, you're going to get an additional bonus plus product credits. Now, if we hold a certain rank, if you are building a team, there's a monthly bonus for that and a quarterly bonus for that, which I love all those things. It's based on volume, but that's the big component here for me is it's based on volume. Sorry, let me move our faces so I can explain this better. So this is the bonus I was just talking about. We always get that 25% retail commission, but as your personal sales go up, you get an end of the month bonus that gets bigger and more product credits as well. So I'm usually at that 3,000 to 4,000 mark. So if you see that, I've already gotten my 25% commission on that. Plus, I'm going to get 10% of 3,000 or say 4,000. I'll get 10% of 4,000. I get an extra bonus. And I get $150 in product credit. So I don't remember the last time I actually had to use my own money to buy product. And I love that. I love that and I never feel guilty like, oh, I'm going to grab a couple extra soaps this week. I'm going to grab some more face serum. I'll grab this because I always have those product credits in my back office. And I absolutely love that I'm basically making 40% retail commission on this. And that's if you said, I never want to build a team. You can look at this and go, okay, I don't want to sign advocates below me, but I could make 40% commission if I built up to these levels, or 45 if you built up to that 10,000. And that's very attractive as a business model to me to see that. And then the last thing, I took my pictures just from the last 8 months of all the events they have done for us. We had a trip to Hawaii that I earned. I had a trip to leadership in Arizona that I earned. And I wanted to point out this Hugh and Grace bus that you see right there. So Ben and Sarah sold everything when they started this company, and they travel around in this RV. They go all over the country. That's all they do is travel around to events, do education, come to advocates events with them. Their kids live with them on this bus. And I just absolutely love it. Every Zoom we do with them is from this bus. They're so committed to this company that they just went, okay, we're just going to buckle down. We want our kids with us every step of the way. And we're just going to travel the country and build our dream, build our passion. And you can see her in that bottom right corner. That was us in Hawaii. And I cannot stress enough how great it feels to be at a company where the owners listen to you. They want our feedback. They keep us informed of what they're thinking about doing. We have a voice. We're not a number. They know us. I can text her. We have only 3 corporate people. I can text them at any point and they will help us. It feels like this little family and that we're building something really, really special.